Hey campers, Georgia, back in the back in this bare room. It's so hot outside I can't do any work on the house, cottage, this place. Need to do some little touch-ups on it before I can sell it. Yeah, well, not so little anymore. Anywho, as you can see, looking at some information on some knives I found, I thought I'd come inside, get out of the heat and let it cool down. Perfect opportunity to have a look and play and fondle some knives, right? These two. Know nothing about either. A little bit about this one, but this one, I got nothing. Let's check him out. So, what are we looking at here? Let me show you quickly. The first one is this guy. Yeah, it's a fisherman. See that? Very cool. Smaller than your regular fisherman. You can see here when it's in my hand, this just outside. Whereas a regular fisherman for me is a little bit longer. Blades are longer. The tool looks really long when you compare it to the blade. Unusual, and when I had a close look at it, you can see it's a clamshell. You can see it there on the back, black, and it has this disc for a shield. A little unusual, not your normal clamshell style. It's very clean, very nice. Blade's in good shape, tool looks good, needs a bit of a cleanup. Not a lot of rust, just, general. So very cool. So then I looked at the tang stem. Therein started the problem. Here's what I'm talking about. It was really hard to make out. And after I zoomed in on it, you can see it here, and looked at it, I saw Prov cutlery. And it says Prov, R-I, USA underneath. Pretty cool, and I thought, Providence, colonial, right? Well, kinda. Looking up some research on it, and yes, the original owners of Providence cutlery were the Palantino family. Two brothers owned it, and they landed up selling it in about 1925, right about the time they were putting together Colonial Cutlery Company. They originally sold the company to Dominic and I think Annarisa or Dominic. Very weird. That family, this is it here. I killed that name. Anyway, they had it from 1925. Now, they did have some affiliations with Colonial. I think they got a lot of their steel from the Palantino brothers, and that kind of kept them together. The style is very similar to Colonial, and they just carried on with the same design look that they had when they bought it, which was the Palantino family styles, and they kept it the same. So a lot of the times you'll see a knife like this and you go, oh, Colonial for sure. It had nothing to do with Colonial, and since then nothing else. They just had business relationships with them. That family kept the company going, and I believe the father passed away and passed the company on to his son. I'm not sure when that was, but reading up on it, they say the company was around until at least 1980. So they were around for a long, long time. You don't find a lot of them. I think a lot of the times people are Colonial and walk by them, unfortunately. Not very common. So a very cool knife. Got some history to it. That's basically all I could find out about it. But it's a pretty cool fish knife and a little different to all my other ones, and it's a good add to the collection. And I'm thinking my workbench, totally bare, no tools, but I threw some in a box, some things that I thought I could use to clean up a knife if I needed to. So we're going to give that a try. Now this one here, and you can see it here. It has a very distinct look. When I say distinct, you see the handle, how I want to say round and hugeous the handle is. It is a clamshell, which kind of surprised me, although it shouldn't. And you have this cracked ice look and these big thick bolsters on the clamshell. Sturdy knife, it's got some weight to it, and basically it's a camper. The problem I have, and let me open it for you, here it is here, and you can see kind of unusual camper. It has that style can opener, it has a nice long punch, pretty standard, a little bit different, a little bit thinner than what you'd expect. It did have the spear point, just like all knives that are old, kind of lost its belly a little bit, and it has this can opener, very plain, pretty straightforward. Well, I thought, I wonder who made this. Here's the tank stamp here. See that? All it says is this, made in Germany. That's it. No Solingen, no nothing else, just made in Germany. And I'm like, wow. And by the way, I forgot, it has another tool. And I think this might be the reason I actually got it. See that? It does have a Phillips head. And that's a big deal, because you didn't need a Phillips head until they actually came out with Phillips head screws. So you needed that screwdriver. Thinking about it now, if I find anything out more about that, and I'll put it up here, it'll give you an idea that it was made after that period. So something to look at. Now there's a couple of things wrong with it. One, not good. The other, this flops. See that? Now, close it up, and I'm going to open this guy up and put it back down, and it's not as floppy as it was. So looking at that, I wonder why that would be. And looking at the knife and just looking at it in general, how was it made? It has the usual stuff on it. Now it's kind of sort of sackish, the style, with this setup here and these. Now I'm like, I need to know more. And here's what I'm thinking. Now it is missing a bail, and I think I have a big bail, which is a little bit big. When I say big, it sticks out too far. Let me see. This one here, which was a stroke of luck. I've packed everything, but when I was moving stuff around, painting the walls, cleaning up, found this underneath the workbench. And it just so happens that it fits on here. Now, like I said, it's a little bit bulky for it. Goes on like that. Now you can see how wide and that. Now thinking of trimming these down and squeezing it down and making it a little longer, fixing up. But I really would like to take this apart and look at just how these knives are put together. Yeah, I know. But what do you do? If this was a knife that I knew more about and I knew what I was dealing with, I wouldn't be so keen to take it apart because it might be valuable. I have no idea with this one, and you know what? It's a clamshell. If you're careful, you can get them apart and look at it and repin everything, which should prove to be pretty interesting. What has got me going mainly is how did they set up the springs and everything for this? I'm dying to know what's going on inside. What do they say? Curiosity killed the cat. Well, we might just kill the cutter. Hopefully not. That's the plan, allegedly. So, let's tear this guy apart, see what we come up with, and clean up the other one, the Providence. So, over to the empty workbench. This is going to be fun. Oops, forgot I had these on the bench. Let me get rid of him. Bunch of campers and scout style knives. Pretty interesting. So there's the two ne'er-do-wells. We've got this one which we're going to clean up, and then this one which hopefully we can take apart and put it back together again. Here's hoping. Don't have very many tools. Hold on, let me get all my tools out. Well, that's all I got. Let's see what we're going to need. I got 2,000 grit. I got glue, pen, picks, and some more sandpaper. I happened to put this in my luggage when I went to San Diego so that if I wanted to, I could try to clean something up. Glad I did that. Small thing of mothers and random things. Ha! I think I have files. Okay, I brought my punches out as well. So let's see what damage we can do. Okay, got everything out of the way. And what I want to do is clean this guy quickly, which really all I can do is sandpaper it. I have 1,000 and 2,000 all-purpose wet dry. Ho ho! And I have 10,000, so that's going to help. And I have some random pieces here and a knife. What is this? Oh, made in the USA. You think that's a Kent? Look at that. Could be. I got a bunch here. Right? Now we need to clean this up. Now looking at this guy, it's in pretty good shape. It shouldn't take a lot to tidy it up. And I do have my sharpening kit, so there's a plus. We're going to have to clean the well, and we can clean up everything, give this a nice sharpen up, clean the well, shine these up, get the springs and all that cleaned up. So let's have at it. You know how it goes. Let's see what we can do with what we got. I can support the blade. And I want to start with, I have this, that's too, I don't want to start with too heavy. I've got 500 to 600 here, a little bit used. And it's that foam back. I really like that. So let's give it a quick rub and see what happens. I did finally find some information on Colonial and what steel they used in that. I did put it away. I forgot to keep it. I should have kept it so I could have shared it with you. But it was interesting that the steel they actually used was pretty good. Not only that, apparently they were really good on their heat treatment. Thought that was interesting. You want to go up and down on it. Keep that sharp edge down. Get into all the nooks and crannies you can. I want to reduce the scratching. I don't know if I want to, I don't want to go any heavier grit than this. Let's see if we're getting anywhere here. Yeah, it looks better, right? Keep at it. Some 1,000 wet dry. See if we can get in there and clean up that nail neck a little bit. That looks better already. So there you go, 500 on the blade. Look how clean that nail nick looks. And the tang stamp. Let's do the same thing. Well, we don't have a lot of good snap there, but it might just need oil. Let's get this guy done. It's pretty clean. Shouldn't take much. It's the first time I've seen that. Look at that. It's got a little ricasso on this thing, but not on the other side. See that line? Huh. That's different. A little bit cleaner. Let's do these. And there we are at 500. Now I'm going to do 1,000. I think I have 1,000 and I've got 2,000 and 10. So I'm going to go through those quickly just like I did with the 500. And here we are at 10,000. Very nice. Cleaned up nicely. Didn't need a lot. Didn't even take that long. Got some nice shine to it. So it's shiny. I do have mothers, and I'm going to use mothers on it as well. And then we'll sharpen it. After all, it is a sharp and shiny. Got some mothers. By the way, I did find a smaller size. I think that's better because you don't want to keep it too long because it kind of gets icky. So I think I'm going to buy the little ones. Got it at Walmart. There you are. Very nice. Providence Cutlery Company. Very cool. Let's sharpen this sucker. Need some oil, and I packed all my oil. Not the smartest thing I've done. But vegetable oil is probably a good thing, and this is olive oil. Makes it food safe, although I use Mother's. I will wash it, but I want to make sure that we've got snap. Not perfect, but we're getting there. It's getting better. Soak it in there. Once it soaks in, it'll be better. So there you are. Kind of sharp, kind of shiny. Let's tear that other one apart. So now we have this guy, and I just want to, the main thing I want to do is take the shells off and see if I want to see how it's pinned together and how they did the springs. Let's do that. So the first thing we've got to do is get these clam shells off. That's always nervous. I don't have my usual tools, but let's see what we can do. We want to go very slowly. Looking at this knife, and it says made in Germany, I was about to say, you don't see many clamshells from over there. But then thinking about Richards, and they're originally from Germany. Wow, there's a lot of pinning going on here. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, that's not a pin. 1, 2, 3, 4 pins. Interesting. Let's take the other side off. Well, we haven't broken anything so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 pins. This looks bent. Wonder why. See this? This is kind of off center there. Look how far off center that one is. And that one. That one too. See, there's a hole there. It's more center, but they don't use it. Interesting. So this, let's see what we can figure out here. Ooh. Wow. Got a pin for that and for the screwdriver. They're all in the screwdriver. Bottle opener and the main blade on the same pin. And this one is on its own pin. That pin looks bent, which is these two. Look how this spring works. It drops down. See that? It's dropped down. Then comes back up, which affects the spring on this. It's really hard to move. If I close it, then I can move it. Look at that. Ooh, now I want to look at these springs, but I'm not sure I want to take this apart. That's interesting how this is put together. Now I want to see something. Looking in here, the springs go all, that's one spring. But they've been cut out. Now these, look at this. They're loose. See that? Now it's tight. And when I lift this out, it's not loose. If I pull the blade out, which is on the same spring, it's not here, it's here. And it's tight. Ooh, and the blade is nice and tight. But if I release that, look at that. I wonder if I need to tighten that spring, because even this seems off. If I pull this out, it's tight. Oh, yeah, it's tight. See, this is loose again. It's tight. I'm wondering if I just tap on that. Let's try that. So I tapped on it, but it really didn't make any difference. But then when I looked at it, I think that the spring is worn. Because when you pull this up, you put a lot more pressure on the spring and it's pushing down on the knife. If you pull out the screwdriver, no movement. And I drop this, that spring lifts, and then you get loose. See that? I also suspect that some of the pins are bent. This is a big job. Don't think I want to take this apart right now. I don't have the tools in that, but this will be a great project to take it apart and repin everything and see if that makes a difference. By the way, this feels pretty sharp. Not as sharp as I thought. Oh, I got an edge on there. Let's drop it. Let's see now. There we go. It had an edge curl on it. Just needed to strop it off. It's a pity. I was hoping to take this apart, but I don't have the tools. That's a pity, but it will certainly be a great project, though. Really want to know how they did those springs. Oh. The pin broke. The clip broke. Oh boy. I should look closer at it. There it is there. This is just going downhill fast. What do you do? Should we use this to hold it together for now? Project just turned bigger. I'm gonna put this aside right now before I break it up even more. So there you go, campers. That did not work out good at all. Unfortunately, I broke the clip on this clamshell. But there's ways you can reattach it. We'll figure it out. It means filling it in so that you've got a surface you can attach to, and then I'll have to modify this. But I still want to take it apart. I just don't want to do it now. I just don't have the tools in that available to do it and do it properly. It wasn't the tools, that was me not paying attention. So, and it slipped and just bent it too quickly, and immediately it broke off. So what do you do? I kind of like this. It's very interesting. I really want to look at the springs. I think they're going to be really unusual, and that's what I want to look at. Why? Well, Curious George. Anywho, so there's this disaster. Lesson learned, and then we got this guy. Now, this guy cleaned up really nice, considering just went through it with sandpaper, nothing special, just some good old-fashioned elbow grease, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 mothers. Really like this little knife. It's a nice little fish knife, and like I said, it's a great add to my collection. Unusual size. It's a little smaller than your regular ones, which is pretty cool. It's always nice to have different kinds. Fishing knives. Well, I don't want to say different kinds, but the pattern's a little different. It's always interesting to see that. So, there we are. And of course, this is from Providence Cutlery, which was bought from the Palantino brothers who started Colonial. And like I said, the only information I found out about them, 1925 is when they bought it. The family kept it all the way through. And the last information anybody seems to know about it was about 1980. You know, that's a long time. So there you go. But it's very colonial. They're big colonial influence. I think when they bought the company, they bought everything to do with it. And of course, all the patterns and everything, and machinery and tools, all had similar to colonial, which started right after they sold this, which was the reason they sold it. You all be safe out there, unlike me. A lot of little things to do, and one big job which unfortunately I have to wait on, which is putting everything on hold as far as finishing up and getting the cottage ready to sell. Once that happens, we'll have some dates for the big move, and we'll go from there. In the meantime, I'll fiddle, do some little projects, and try not to break anything more. What do you do? Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be back. Timelines are hard for me right now because I've got a lot of stuff going on. Frustrating. But we persist. I've got a couple of projects I think I can work on without destroying anything. Mainly informational projects and some basic cleanups. Some interesting knives that I just found in my to-do list. I had never packed the projects boxes. They're still underneath the what's left of the table. Pulled out some that I thought would be interesting, needed to know more about. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your support and your patience in this time. It's a little tough, got a lot of things going on, so there's that. Thanks for watching. Always appreciated. And we'll see you again soon.